Hey everyone, my name's Shane and I'm a big baseball fan. Welcome back to 3 Up, 3 Down. Thank you so much for the support in the first two videos. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, do it down below. We're at 7 subscribers, looking for 10 after this video. And comment who's your favorite Major League Baseball team. For this video, we're going to take a look at the Major League Baseball offseason, and I'm going to give you my opinion on 6 teams of whether their moves are smart or whether they're dragging it down to the bottom of the standings for the next season. Let's get into it. Starting off in Seattle, the Pacific Northwest, Mariners made 3 really big additions this offseason. Love the Robbie Ray deal. The Mariners really need that big-time starting ace. 5-year, $115 million for Robbie Ray, the reigning Cy Young Award winner from Toronto last year. Ray makes a lot of sense for Seattle. Got a lot of velocity. That big-time slider fastball combination makes a lot of sense for the Mariners. It really is going to stretch out their rotation. Big move there. I think Ray has a chance to maybe equal the Cy Young season. He's got his mechanics figured out, and if he can stick in the strike zone, makes a lot of sense. The other move that I really like for the Mariners is bringing in Eugenio Suarez and Jesse Winker from the Reds. Costs a bunch of prospect capital and some younger guys, but Suarez really replaces Kyle Seager. I know he had a down year last year, OPS plus of only 80 when the league average is 100. Well, Seager really only hit 100 or an OPS plus of 100 last year as well. So he wasn't really high and away a much better third baseman, even with more home runs and RBIs. Both of them struggle with on-base percentage, but Suarez really struggles defensively. I like the move though for the simple fact that Suarez has had better years in the past than Seager has ever had. And the biggest addition to this whole thing, Jesse Winker. Jesse Winker has put up OPS plus the last few years of 140 and 139. He's got to play a little more often, not as good against lefties, but there's a lot of depth in that Mariner team. Adam Frazier's a nice little piece as well they picked up, mainly as a defensive guy who's got a lot of bat-to-ball skills and contact. They've got Dylan Moore, who's a utility guy. Abraham Toro is a utility guy. They can play really good defense in late inning situations. They can get Suarez out of there. And some more at-bats hopefully open up for Jesse Winker in that DH spot. Overall, love what the Mariners are doing. Got a lot of prospects coming. The trade of Brandon Williamson, the big prospect for them, might hurt down the way, but they got some other pitching prospects coming. So I think Seattle has gone big time into win now mode and look for them potentially to end that playoff curse. So Mariners fans, I'm giving Seattle a big time up. Checking in next, number 2, the Minnesota Twins. Oh no, Twins fans, I don't know what to say. I don't know what this team is doing. A last place set finish in the AL Central last year, and then the moves they're making this year just don't make any sense. Trading their number 1 draft pick from last year, Chase Petty, to the Reds, makes some sense if you were in a win now situation, but a last place finish doesn't make any sense. Bringing in Sonny Gray is a nice piece, but really all he's replacing is Jose Barrios that they traded away last year. So you gain some prospect capital to trade away some prospect capital. The rotation doesn't really get that much better. Gray is a nice number 2 pitcher, but that's about all. And then the trade of the Yankees. I really do not get this from a Twins perspective. Yes, they got out of the contract and the money on the Josh Donaldson deal, but to bring back Gary Sanchez and Gio Urshela. Urshela's a nice piece. He's definitely more of a third baseman than a shortstop, where the Yankees are using him. So he'll fit in there and fill in that spot. But he's a worse or average league hitter at best. And bringing Gary Sanchez hasn't been good for years. The offense really hasn't taken off. There's a lot of swing and miss in his game. And his defense behind the plate is horrendous. So really, you got Sanchez probably a full-time DH at best, maybe a few games behind the plate, but it really doesn't make sense. And if you're going to free up some money from trading away Josh Donaldson, what are we trying to do with that money? Unless something else is happening, maybe a shortstop position like a Trevor Story, this just does not make any sense as a Twins fan. Twins fans, sorry, that's a big time down for this offseason. Third team we're taking a look at is the Cincinnati Reds. Reds fans may be a little skeptical with this, but they're kind of taking a step back to potentially take a much bigger step forward over the next few years. They were so close to making the playoffs last year, and the NL Central certainly is not a runaway division with who's going to win it this year or any making any big-time moves. But the Reds are selling off. At first, the Wade Miley move to let him go and free up some money. I thought maybe they're going to try and rebuild things a little bit to shuffle the money around. But the big-time trades here now are coming in. Eugenio Suarez out the door, Jesse Winker out the door, as we've talked about, to Seattle. But they bring back a nice prospect in Brandon Williamson. He's compared to James Paxton, big-time lefty, a lot of velocity. That's a really nice piece, and he's getting closer, finishing up last year in Double-A. Jake Fraley, who knows what he can be. Maybe with the inclusion of more speed in the game the next year, with the rule changes, maybe he finds himself a nice spot in the majors. Justin Dunn, nice starter. We'll see what he can be this year and if he can develop into something more than maybe a 3 or 4 starter for the Reds. But what I really like what the Reds are doing, as well as bringing in Chase Petty in the Sonny Gray deal, that's now giving them Chase Petty, Brandon Williamson, Hunter Green with the big time arm in their minor league system, and Nick Lodolo, very nice lefty as well. They're building a very young, potentially very dynamic starting pitching group. Maybe they don't all hit, but there's a lot of really nice pitching prospects now in Cincinnati that could really form a very core group the next few years. When you add in young catcher Tyler Stevenson behind the plate, nice second baseman Jonathan India, who's coming off that Rookie of the Year campaign last season, the Reds have a lot of nice pieces to potentially bring some more in if they move out Tyler Mahle, Luis Castillo. There's a very nice core being set up in Cincinnati. Yes, they're taking some steps back, but I don't think they were in position to really win it all at this time. So a few steps back for a massive step forward in the future. Give it 2 or 3 years, but Reds fans, this offseason is an up for sure to get ready for the next few. Fourth team on our list, the Miami Marlins. Don't get me wrong, I like the moves that the Marlins have made this offseason. I like the acquisition of Joey Wendell. Very nice utility infielder, can play a lot of games, very good hitter, has been an all-star. And Avisail Garcia, hit or miss outfielder. I think he gets more credit than he really do, but he's had some nice seasons in the past. Solid enough hitter, okay defender, but will improve the offense for the Marlins. What I really don't get this offseason though, when you have Derek Jeter walking out on ownership saying that they don't want to win, that's a really bad look for the organization. I mean, you hear the rumors that Nick Castellanos wants to play with the Marlins and wants to find that big contract and come to Miami, where he's from. That's the type of bat you need to really push this team over the top. Very nice young starting pitching core. Some nice pieces they picked up along the way. I almost forgot the fact that added Jacob Stallings. That solidifies their catcher spot and the defense behind it. Maybe not a lot of offense, but a player like Nick Castellanos come in would really have benefited this team. They don't want to make the move and commit to winning. It's more of the same down there in Miami. I just don't get it. It's a down from me. Marlins got to do better. They got to want to win. Next up on our list, number 5, the Toronto Blue Jays. The Blue Jays have made some really nice offseason moves. I might be a little biased being a bit more of a Jays fan than anybody else here in Canada. But Kevin Gausman, 5-year, $110 million contract. That really replaces Robbie Ray as a true top-of-the-line starter. I love Kevin Gausman. Real battler, real fighter in terms of pitcher. Had so many down years and has now really found himself. That splitter is absolutely nasty coming from Gausman. Considered one of the best pitches at times in the bigs. Love that type of move. The next one being starter in Yusei Kikuchi. That 3-year, $36 million. Maybe a bit of a gamble, maybe a bit too much term in terms of the contract. Could have maybe gone 2 years. But that's not a bad deal for a number 4 or 5 starter with the potential of having a lot of upside. Kikuchi has really been able to up the velocity from around 92s to 95, even up to 98 the last couple of seasons. He was an all-star last year, tremendous first half. Real downside in the second half. We'll see what he can bring this year. Love the move because I think Pete Walker, has the pitching coach, has an opportunity to work with him much in the same way of Robbie Ray. If he can get Kikuchi consistently into the right arm slot and consistently in the strike zone, Kikuchi has a real good chance of being a huge starter for the Blue Jays the next couple of years and gives Nate Pearson a chance to develop a little bit more. The big move next is a trade for third baseman Matt Chapman. If Chapman doesn't hit, if Chapman is an OPS plus of an 80, this deal could still be a win. His defense is absolutely phenomenal. It'll improve the left side of the infield, not just for Chapman and his strength at third base, but will help improve Bo Bichette, I think, as well, so he doesn't have to cheat as much. And of course, that pop that Chapman brings. He's had some hip issues, but if he's healthy, he has the potential of hitting 35, maybe even 40 home runs for the Blue Jays. That's a huge get for really not much. Prospect capital was maybe some questions about giving out Gunnar Hoagland, but I really, really like the deal for Matt Chapman. And with Hyun-Jin Ryu and Kikuchi being big-time lefty starters, a lot of ground balls to that left side for Matt Chapman. That's going to be a huge benefit to the Blue Jays. They look to be one of the contenders, if not the best team right now in the American League. And when you're considered one of the favorites now in the American League, of course that offseason is going to get an up. Our final stopping point for this video is in Oakland. Build it up, tear it down. Build it up, tear it down. Build it up. As Yogi Berra would say, it's deja vu all over again. I don't know what's going on in Oakland. They have to get the stadium figured out. This build it up again, tear it down again, just isn't going to work for fans. We've got to have reset here in Oakland. It's time to either settle the situation in the stadium out in Oakland or look at potential movement, and a lot of names being talked about in terms of Las Vegas. The prospects that the Oakland A's have brought in leave some question marks to me as well. Gunnar Hoagland from the Blue Jays could potentially grow into an ace, but he's had Tommy John surgery and has pitched so few innings in the minor leagues, he's really hard to project. Shea Langeliers from the Braves and the Matt Olson deal, great prospect as a catcher, but he doesn't really fit with the A's. They already have Sean Murphy behind the plate, a young catcher in himself. So I don't know where they're going to fit both of those in there. Christian Pache coming from the Braves. They must think they can convince this guy how to hit. His OPS in the minor leagues has never really been above 730. So what are they going to do with Pache? Tremendous outfielder. But if the guy can't hit, what are they going to do? Some of the other pieces, JT Ginn and the Chris Bassett deal, that one I like. Very nice looking starter. He's had some real success in the minors as well. So maybe he can really develop into a true pitcher for the A's. But again, what's it going to be? If they build it up again just to hit another spot where they have to tear it out all down again, it just doesn't make sense. Oakland has to stabilize this situation. Too much talent, getting too close to that ultimate goal of making the playoffs and winning the championship, just to see it crumble when you could have had maybe one or two pieces to put them over the top. It's a sad day for Oakland to see this happening again. So the Oakland A's offseason gets it down from me. Thank you for making it all the way to the end of the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Again, we're looking for 10 subscribers. We're at 7. Let's see if we can get it 10. And maybe we can hit a goal of 50 views for this video. Thank you so much for the earlier support. It's been a lot of fun doing this. Comment down below with your favorite Major League team, and we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.